Why December 17th matters so much for Social Security recipients. If you are a Social Security recipient, December 17th is not just another date on the calendar. For millions of retirees, disabled Americans, survivors, and caregivers across the United States, this date represents a critical moment, a payment that many households are depending on to cover rent, groceries, medications, and basic living expenses during the holiday season. In just one day, Social Security checks of up to $5,180 are scheduled to be deposited into bank accounts nationwide. While not everyone will receive the maximum amount, the importance of this payment cannot be overstated. For people living on a fixed income, timing is everything. One delayed or missing payment can trigger serious financial stress. What makes December especially confusing, and for some, surprisingly beneficial, is that certain beneficiaries will receive two Social Security-related payments in the same month. This has caused a wave of questions, misunderstandings, and concern, especially among seniors who carefully plan every dollar. At the same time, Washington is buzzing with new proposals aimed at easing financial pressure on older Americans. A Senate proposal would temporarily increase monthly benefits by $200, starting in early 2026, while several states are already issuing tax relief payments before the end of the year. In this series, we will break everything down clearly and calmly: who gets paid on December 17th, how much you can realistically expect, why some people are seeing two checks, and what steps to take if your money does not arrive on time. Most importantly, this analysis is designed to help you feel informed, prepared, and confident about your benefits, because these payments are not gifts, they are earned. Who exactly gets paid on December 17th and why birthdays matter? One of the most common sources of confusion surrounding Social Security payments is the payment schedule itself. Many beneficiaries wonder why a neighbor, friend, or family member may receive their money days earlier or later, even though they are on the same program. The answer lies in how the Social Security Administration organizes payments, and it all comes down to your date of birth. For Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI, and survivor benefits, payments are issued based on the beneficiary's birthday. If you were born between the 11th and the 20th of any month, your payment date is the third Wednesday of each month. In December, that date falls on December 17th. This means that if your birthday is, for example, December 12th, June 15th, or September 19th, December 17th is your scheduled payday, regardless of the month or year you were born. This system helps the SSA spread out millions of payments efficiently, but it can still feel frustrating if you're waiting while others have already been paid. Earlier in the month, on December 10th, beneficiaries born between the 1st and the 10th received their checks. Later, on December 24th, the day before Christmas, those born between the 21st and the 31st will be paid. Understanding this schedule is essential. It helps you plan bills, manage holiday expenses, and avoid unnecessary panic when your deposit hasn't arrived yet. If December 17th is your assigned date, your payment is not late. It is right on time. Important exceptions that change your Social Security payment date. While the birthday-based payment schedule works for most Social Security recipients, there are several important exceptions that can completely change when your money arrives. These exceptions are a major reason why so many people feel confused, and why one household may receive a payment weeks earlier than another. First, let's talk about SSI, Supplemental Security Income. SSI follows a completely different schedule. SSI payments are normally issued on the first day of each month. That means SSI recipients already received their December payment on December 1st. Next, there is a group of beneficiaries who are always paid on the third day of the month, regardless of their birthday. This includes individuals who began receiving Social Security before May of 1997, those who live outside the United States, people whose state pays their Medicare premiums, and beneficiaries who receive both Social Security and SSI at the same time. If you fall into any of these categories, your December payment was sent on December 3rd, not December 17th or December 24th. This often leads people to believe they missed a payment, when in reality, it arrived earlier than expected. Understanding which category you fall into is critical. It prevents unnecessary worry, reduces the risk of reporting a missing payment that was actually paid on schedule, and allows you to plan your monthly budget with more confidence. Social Security payments may feel unpredictable, but once you know the rules that apply to you, The system becomes much easier to navigate and far less stressful. How much money are people really receiving on December 17th? Whenever Social Security payments make headlines, one number tends to grab attention immediately: the maximum benefit amount. You may have seen reports mentioning checks of up to $5,180, and it's understandable why that figure creates excitement and confusion at the same time. Here's the reality: that maximum payment is reserved for a very small group of people. To qualify, someone must retire in 2025 at age 70 and must have paid the maximum Social Security taxes throughout their entire working career. While that situation does exist, it does not reflect what most beneficiaries receive. For the majority of retirees, monthly payments are much lower. As of recent data, the average Social Security retirement benefit is just under $2,000 per month. For individuals receiving SSDI, the average payment is closer to $1,300 per month. For SSI recipients, the federal maximum benefit is $943 for an individual and $1,415 for a couple, with some states providing small additional supplements. These numbers matter because they shape real-life decisions: how much medication someone can afford, whether utilities stay on, or how far groceries must be stretched until the next deposit arrives. If you want to know your exact payment amount, the most reliable source is your My Social Security account. It shows payment history, current benefit levels, and any adjustments already applied. Understanding realistic benefit amounts helps set expectations and protects you from misleading headlines that don't apply to most seniors. Cost of living adjustments and why your check looks slightly different. Many Social Security recipients notice small changes in their monthly payments from year to year, and those changes are often tied to what's known as the cost of living adjustment, or COLA. While COLA is designed to help benefits keep pace with inflation, the reality is that it doesn't always cover rising expenses, especially for seniors. For 2024, Social Security beneficiaries received a 3.2% COLA increase, which provided modest relief after years of elevated inflation. Looking ahead, 2025 brings a smaller 2.5% COLA increase. While any increase is welcome, this adjustment is significantly lower than what many households are experiencing in higher food, housing, and healthcare costs. For retirees living on fixed incomes, this creates a financial squeeze. A slightly higher check may arrive, but rising Medicare premiums, prescription drug prices, and utility bills can quickly absorb that increase. In fact, many seniors find that their raise barely keeps up or disappears entirely. The key point to understand is that COLA adjustments are automatic. You do not need to apply, request, or contact Social Security to receive them. If you qualify for a COLA increase, it is already built into your payment. Checking your My Social Security account allows you to see how COLA impacts your specific benefit. Knowing this ahead of time can help you adjust your monthly budget and avoid surprises when expenses rise faster than benefits. COLA helps, but for many seniors, it simply isn't enough. Full retirement age rules and why they matter more than ever. One of the most important and often misunderstood parts of Social Security planning is the concept of full retirement age, commonly referred to as FRA. This is the age at which you are entitled to receive 100% of your earned Social Security benefit with no permanent reductions or penalties. Starting in January 2026, the full retirement age is officially set at 67 for anyone born in 1960 or later. This change did not happen overnight. It has been gradually increasing since the 1980s, but it is now fully implemented. Why does this matter so much? Because the age at which you claim benefits has a lasting impact on your financial security. If you claim Social Security early at age 62, your monthly benefit is permanently reduced. On the other hand, if you delay claiming until age 70, you earn delayed retirement credits that increase your monthly payment. For seniors already receiving benefits, understanding FRA helps explain why payments differ from person to person, even among people with similar work histories. For those approaching retirement, it plays a critical role in long-term planning. There is no one right age to claim benefits. Health, life expectancy, employment status, and household needs all matter. But knowing the full retirement age rules gives you the clarity needed to make informed decisions rather than rushed ones. Social Security rewards patience, but life circumstances often dictate timing. The key is understanding the trade-offs before making that choice. Why some SSI recipients receive two payments in December is a unique month for many SSI supplemental security income recipients, and it often causes confusion and anxiety. Some people notice two deposits in the same month and immediately worry that a mistake has been made. In reality, this situation is intentional and follows long-standing Social Security rules. Here's what's happening. SSI payments are normally issued on the first day of each month. However, when the first of the month falls on a federal holiday or a weekend, Social Security sends the payment early on the last business day of the previous month. This year, January 1st falls on a federal holiday. Because Social Security does not issue payments on holidays, the January SSI payment is sent early, on December 31st. That means SSI recipients receive one payment on December 1st, their regular December benefit, a second payment on December 31st, their January benefit paid early. While this may feel like a financial boost, it is important to understand the catch. There will be no SSI payment in January because that money was already paid at the end of December. This is where careful budgeting becomes critical. That December 31st payment must stretch through the entire month of January. Without planning, this can create unnecessary financial stress later on. Understanding this timing allows SSI recipients to avoid panic, plan responsibly, and stay in control of their finances during the holiday season. What to do if your Social Security payment does not arrive? Few things create more stress than checking your bank account on payment day and not seeing your Social Security deposit. If December 17th arrives and your money isn't there, the most important thing to do is stay calm and follow the correct steps. The first step is to wait 3 business days. Around holidays, banks sometimes experience processing delays, especially with direct deposits. A payment that was sent on time may take an extra day or two to appear. Next, log into your My Social Security account. This is the fastest way to confirm whether your payment was issued. Your payment history will show the exact date Social Security sent the funds. If the payment still does not appear, your next step is to contact the Social Security Administration directly. While hold times can be long, reporting a missing payment starts the investigation process. Social Security can determine whether the issue is on their end or related to your bank. In some cases, visiting your local Social Security office may be necessary. Problems can arise from outdated banking information, benefit suspensions, overpayments being recovered, or mailed checks that were lost or stolen. If a check is confirmed lost, Social Security can cancel it and issue a replacement. This process can take several weeks, which is why direct deposit is strongly recommended whenever possible. Missing payments are stressful, but they are usually resolved. Knowing the correct steps helps you regain control and peace of mind. The $200 monthly stimulus proposal and what it could mean for seniors beyond December payments. There is growing attention in Washington toward the financial pressure facing seniors, disabled individuals, and veterans. Recently, Senate lawmakers introduced a proposal that could provide temporary but meaningful relief for millions of Americans living on fixed incomes. The proposal, known as the Social Security Emergency Relief Act, would provide an additional $200 per month for eligible beneficiaries over a 7-month period, beginning in January 2026 and running through July 2026. This increase would apply to Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI, SSI, and certain veterans benefits. Why is this proposal gaining traction now? The answer is simple: inflation. While Social Security benefits are receiving a 2.5% COLA increase, Medicare Part B premiums are projected to rise by roughly 10%. For many seniors, that means nearly their entire cost of living increase is being consumed by healthcare costs alone. It's important to be clear, this proposal has not yet become law. It must pass both the Senate and the House and then be signed by the President. However, the fact that lawmakers are discussing targeted relief is significant. A temporary increase may not solve every problem, but for many households, an extra $200 per month could help cover groceries, utilities, or prescription costs, providing breathing room during a challenging economic period. Why rising Medicare costs are forcing Congress to act. To understand why lawmakers are proposing additional financial relief, it's important to look at what seniors are facing on the ground, especially when it comes to health care. For many retirees, Medicare costs are rising faster than Social Security benefits, creating a growing gap in monthly budgets. Medicare Part B premiums are projected to increase by around 10% in 2026, while Social Security benefits are expected to rise by only 2.5%. This imbalance means that a significant portion of a retiree's cost of living adjustment may be absorbed immediately by healthcare expenses, leaving little to help with food, housing, or utilities. For seniors managing chronic conditions, prescription drug costs add another layer of pressure. Even small increases in copays or premiums can make a noticeable difference when income is fixed and predictable. This financial squeeze is not new, but it has become harder to ignore. Lawmakers are hearing directly from constituents who are struggling to keep up, people who worked for decades, paid into the system, and now find their purchasing power shrinking year after year. That is why temporary measures like the proposed $200 monthly increase are being discussed as a stopgap solution. While not permanent, they acknowledge a reality many seniors already know: the current system is not keeping pace with real-world expenses. Understanding these pressures helps explain why relief proposals are emerging and why the conversation around Social Security reform continues to grow louder. States sending relief payments before the end of the year. While federal relief proposals are still under debate, several states have already taken action by issuing tax relief and rebate payments to eligible residents before the end of the year. These payments are designed to offset inflation and rising living costs, particularly for seniors and middle-income households. In Alaska, eligible residents are receiving $1,000 payments through the Alaska Permanent Fund Dividend Program. While most payments have already been distributed, individuals who filed late applications can expect their money around mid-December. New York is rolling out a one-time inflation relief rebate for the first time. More than 8 million residents may receive payments ranging from $150 to $400, depending on income and residency. These payments are intended to help offset higher sales taxes driven by inflation. In New Jersey, the state's expanded property tax relief program continues issuing payments to individuals who filed late or whose applications were processed in later batches. Some checks are being mailed throughout December. Pennsylvania is also processing residual payments through its property tax and rent rebate program, with some late payments extending into early 2026. These state-level actions highlight a broader trend. As economic pressure grows, more states may step in with targeted relief. If you live in one of these states, it's important to verify your application status and ensure your information is up to date. Practical financial tips to navigate this payment schedule. Understanding when your money arrives is only half the equation. The other half is knowing how to manage it, especially during months like December, when payment timing can feel unusual and expenses tend to rise. One of the most important steps any Social Security recipient can take is setting up direct deposit. Direct deposit is faster, more secure, and far less likely to be delayed or lost than a paper check. If you are still receiving checks by mail, switching to direct deposit can eliminate a major source of stress. Creating a My Social Security account is equally important. This online account allows you to monitor your payment history, confirm deposit dates, update banking information, and view benefit notices, all without waiting on hold or visiting an office in person. Marking your payment dates on a calendar is another simple but powerful habit. When you know exactly when to expect your money, you can plan bills, groceries, and medication refills with greater confidence. Budgeting becomes especially critical for SSI recipients who receive 2 payments in December but none in January. Stretching that December 31st payment across an entire month requires planning, not panic. Finally, consider building a small emergency buffer if possible. Even a modest cushion can help absorb short delays or unexpected expenses, providing peace of mind in uncertain months. Additional benefit programs many seniors overlook. For many seniors, Social Security is only one piece of the financial puzzle. What often goes unnoticed is that millions of beneficiaries qualify for additional assistance programs that can significantly reduce monthly expenses without affecting their Social Security benefits. One of the most common programs is SNAP, formerly known as food stamps. Many retirees assume they do not qualify, but income limits are often higher for seniors, especially when medical expenses are considered. SNAP benefits can help cover groceries, freeing up cash for other necessities. Another important resource is Medicaid, which can work alongside Medicare for those with limited income and assets. Medicaid may help cover premiums, deductibles, and long-term care costs that Medicare does not. Heating and energy assistance programs such as LIHEAP can provide seasonal relief for utility bills, especially during winter months. Some states also offer local energy assistance or property tax relief specifically for seniors. Medicare savings programs deserve special attention. These programs can help pay Medicare Part B premiums and, in some cases, copays and deductibles. For many seniors, enrolling in one of these programs can save hundreds of dollars per month. Exploring these options takes time, but the payoff can be substantial. These programs exist to support those who qualify, and using them is not a failure. It is a smart financial decision. Reassurance: how reliable Social Security payments really are. After discussing schedules, exceptions, proposals, and rising costs, it's important to step back and address one of the biggest concerns many seniors quietly carry. Can I really count on my Social Security payment? The answer, in the vast majority of cases, is yes. Social Security remains one of the most reliable payment systems in the United States. Every month, the Social Security Administration successfully delivers tens of millions of payments on time. Delays do happen, but they are the exception, not the rule. When a payment issue occurs, it is usually tied to a specific, fixable reason: a banking change, a temporary benefit suspension, a clerical error, or a mailed check that never arrived. What matters most is knowing that your money is not lost. If Social Security owes you a payment, they will make it right, even if it takes time to resolve. This reliability is especially important during uncertain economic periods. While prices rise and policies change, Social Security continues to function as a steady foundation for retirees, disabled individuals, and survivors. Understanding the system, rather than fearing it, allows you to regain a sense of control. Knowing when your payment is scheduled, how to verify it, and what steps to take if something goes wrong transforms anxiety into confidence. Social Security may not make anyone wealthy, but it provides stability. And for millions of Americans, that stability makes all the difference. Final thoughts: what December 17th really means for your financial security. As we bring this analysis to a close, it's important to step back and look at the bigger picture. December 17th is more than just a payment date. For millions of Americans, it represents stability, planning, and peace of mind, especially during a season when expenses tend to rise and financial pressure feels heavier. If December 17th is your scheduled payment date, your money should arrive as planned. And if it doesn't, you now understand exactly what steps to take. Calmly, confidently, and without panic. Knowledge is your strongest protection against unnecessary stress. We've also talked about why some people receive two payments in December, why that does not mean extra money in the long run, and why careful budgeting matters more than ever, particularly for SSI recipients. Understanding these timing rules helps you stay in control rather than feeling surprised or overwhelmed. Beyond December, we explored what lies ahead. Rising Medicare costs, modest COLA increases, and ongoing inflation are real challenges. That is why proposals like the temporary $200 monthly increase are being discussed, and why state-level relief programs are becoming more common. But above all else, remember this: your benefits are earned. They are not handouts. They are the result of years of work, contribution, and sacrifice. You deserve to receive them on time, to understand how they work, and to plan your life around them with dignity. Whether you are a retiree, a disabled individual, a survivor, or a caregiver managing benefits for a loved one, you are not alone. Staying informed is the first step toward financial confidence, and confidence leads to better decisions. December 17th matters, but what matters even more is knowing that you are prepared, today, next month, and into the future.